Okay, we should be live. Hey, AZ is first.
All right. Good morning, AZ. I just got to bring up the chat here, guys. So,
And Russell.
no. And Russell. Hey, and Corey Mono, too. He's in there like a dirty shirt.
Corey was in yesterday, too.
Yeah. But everybody's vying for that first spot. Sorry, guys. AZ beat you.
Hey, Corey, thanks for coming in last night or this morning, whenever it was. I did a late show last night, Paul.
Huh?
I did a late show.
Oh, you did a late show last night, did you?
Yep. Yeah, I started it up myself and thought to see how it goes, and Corey popped in.
All right. That was nice, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Where have I been? Oh, we've been having all kinds of fun there, Dave. I ended up last night, I had my sister pick me up. Okay, to start off with, we got a super long weekend this weekend. Today's the start of the holiday, and after today, nobody goes back to work till Tuesday. Well, anyways, I got a rental vehicle, and anyways, because my truck's in the shop getting the motor put in it. Anyways, the motor's in, works great. Except for one problem. It needs transmission cooler lines, and it's a Ford-only part, and it doesn't look like we can get it before the weekend. So anyway, I may have to wait till next week to get my truck back. But I don't want to pay for a rental from now till Tuesday and stuff. So last night, my sister picked me up. She had a second vehicle, and Toyota Camry. Been sitting for a little while, but it's all licensed, insured, and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so in about 10 minutes, I gotta leave here. I gotta take the rental van back. I gotta go put fuel in and have it back for 10 o'clock. So otherwise get charged for an extra day. So
what is it? Doesn't look like you're going to get your truck back until Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah. So that's why I got the Camry, so I can get around on the weekend. But this the battery in it is pooched, so I had to boost it to get it here. So anyways, I thought I'd charge up on the way down here, but it's not enough to get it going. I got a charger on it right now, but I got a charger on it right now, but I got another battery. It's a marine battery, but and of course, look at this. Want to sign up? Yeah.
Little Lamalora, hey, how you doing?
Worst case scenario, I'll take the battery with me and jump start myself, I guess.
Hey, Z said, make sure you don't see your date every day. You may burn your engine.
Yeah, they're easy. I haven't seen her for a while. Shouldn't say I haven't seen her. I guess, no, I didn't see her yesterday, but she's coming to pick me up at the rental vehicle at 10 o'clock this morning and bring me home. So. Of course, I want to sign up, and I knew to watch. I'll get like 10 freaking signs to put up, and I don't have a vehicle. But this one here, this post here that he wants up, it comes apart. I can put it in the truck, in the Camry, and put it up.
I'm going to pitch some peanuts, Paul. I'll be right back.
Oh, big old dog here barking next door. No police dog, buck, 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 buck. Yeah. You think they would be a little more disciplined? Well, I don't know. It may not be ready till Tuesday next week or so. They're waiting for a part, and it's a Ford only part. So unless they have it here in town or something, but maybe I'll get it back today. I don't know. But as of 4 o'clock last night, they said it didn't look likely to have it ready. They said the engine's in, runs good, runs really good, but transmission cooler line problem. Oh. Uh, what am I doing in the meantime? I had a rental vehicle, but I could keep it till tomorrow morning, but I decided to take it back today because I got the Journey, not Journey, Toyota Camry and my sister to drive for a day or two. So, but it needs a battery, so I may have to go put a battery in it today. So, be cheaper than a rental vehicle, I think. But I don't know. Looking at the price of batteries right now, holy crap, man! Freaking they're expensive. Not like they used to be. You used to pick up a battery for 80, 90 bucks. And right now I'm looking at $170 plus $20 core charge. Wow.
Of course, if you go replace the battery, you just turn the core in you got,
Yeah.
Then you got tax on top of that too, right?
Oh yeah, it's $200 for a battery. Easy. And there's some batteries, they're like through 300 plus taxes and everything else too now. God. Yeah. Yeah, there are a few hundred now. Yeah, not as good as they used to be. The worst thing about it, Diane's going to eventually sell this car, I think, because it sits around not being used. But I took it for a drive. It's sure a nice riding car, but I'm not even sure what year it is. But Lexus battery, $500. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I think a battery would be a battery, but it got cold cranking amps and all that. And once you get it boosted, it stays running, no problem. But yeah, it does. Waypoint. Yep. I've snuck a sign or two in there before. Hopefully, to keep my fingers crossed that I don't get a lot of signs today. Trying to jam them in there, but I can always do it one at a time, I guess.
Is that battery up under the hood or is it underneath?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get at. Yep.
Remember, they were putting some of those batteries underneath the back seat.
Yeah. A Dodge Journey, they're under the left front fender. You have to take the left front wheel off. Yeah. But this time I got to put up right now. It's one of those plastic ones, so it all comes apart. I can put it up. And Bill says he drove a few of them when he worked at Toyota. Yeah, that's a nice riding car there, Bill. Yeah, I was impressed. I drove this car before. It used to be a student driver ed car when I used to teach driver ed. That was my sister's business, right? She kept this car, but she thought you might keep it, right? But now she's talking about maybe selling it. She just paid insurance on it, and it just sits there. And the brakes were a little rusty when I first got in it, but anyways, it works good now. It's smooth ride, quiet. Oh, it's just everything nice about it. If I didn't need a truck, I would really consider buying it from her because it's such a nice vehicle.
Yeah, not a lot going on here today.
Yeah. But yeah, take a look at this one. Battery hits.
Not a lot of people down by the water. It's just kind of chilly, 59 degrees.
Yeah,
But it's going to get a lot colder. But
yeah,
I think tonight it's going down to what, 44, Paul?
yeah. She's going down cold tonight. Yeah,
Yeah, and rain on and off, and all the above.
yeah, yeah. Today, Friday morning, isn't it? Yeah, it's always quiet Friday morning. Hey, TJ, good morning.
I'll be right back, Paul.
Yep. Okay. Mm. Well, it goes just me for a few minutes, but anyways, hey, TJ, yeah, I see you getting lots of flying in with the Avada. So, see lots of stuff on Facebook about it. So, okay, yeah, I got to leave here right shortly, guys. Okay. Apple's got a freaking update again already. I just did an update. So, hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this camera's got 212,000 kilometers on it, which is about 150,000 miles on it. That thing just doesn't miss a beat. Really a nice vehicle there. I was hoping somebody could be with you there, Bo.
The little squirrelies are just eating the hell out of my peanuts.
Yeah, yeah. Great.
That's a second batch I've thrown out there today.
Already? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think what's going on, Paul, and I could be wrong. But, the animals seem to know what season it is, and I think what they're doing is they're packing them away. Getting ready for cold winter. Right, Boo Boo? Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping somebody to come in and give you a hand there, Paul, but I got to go. I can't wait any longer.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, to see you later on today.
All righty.
Yep, bye.
Maybe somebody would pop in. If not, it'll just be a short show this morning because we had the extended show late last night. We did a late show last night. I think it went pretty well. Corey Mono jumped in and Justin was there and Dominic was there and Matt was there and different people, and it was greatly appreciated. I just couldn't sleep and I couldn't stand not doing anything, and I thought, well, maybe there's some other people out there that would like to talk, have a chat. So we just decided to do a late night live. The just changing the channel, trying to find something halfway decent to watch. The weather, that's good. Captain Joe, how you doing? TJ. Did you eat your breakfast? Oh, you did. You want to go out? I'm gonna pop the door for her. Go side. Okay. Sorry about that, gang. I just had to let me out. Anybody want to join me? Welcome to do so. The link is up at the top of the chat. And Paul Hodges had to run. You know, he's dealing with his car issue, and he's got to return his rental truck that he thought that he was only going to have for a couple of days, but coming into the weekend, and it's a holiday weekend over there. I think they call it Memorial Weekend in Canada. Mr. Skyfly, hey, how you doing? Brian and everybody else is here, and yeah, like I say, Justin was on my late show last night. In fact, I got after 2:15, I says, I gotta go try and kick back a little bit and see if I couldn't get any kind of rest at all. And Justin carried on again for another 30 minutes or so. And he was with Dominic, and Corey Mono was on there. Yeah, it was greatly appreciated that they came in and joined me last night. Mark White's here. Yep. Yeah, a lot of people kind of tapped in and out last night, early this morning. And we had a nice little conversation chat. Corey added a lot to the chat. And yeah, it was nice. It was, you know, I've done late nights every once in a while when I can't sleep or I'm a little restless. But it's not a regular scheduled thing. Yeah, Bill. The as you can see, it's a little bit hazy out there. Not the best. That's my little chipmunk. I love watching my little chippy monk. That little bugger. You know, he's only about this big. He takes 3 of those peanuts and sticks one in here and one in here and one in his mouth, and off he goes. And of course, the Sky Pirates, the Blue Jays, they're always looking for a handout. I guess just about any animal will eat peanuts, but I can't figure out the Blue Jay. They got that little beak on them, like a little needle. So they must do something. Yeah, not a lot going on today. Yeah, my front cam doesn't seem to be wanting to work. It's a connection issue. Yeah, about by West Branch, yep. Well, the sun is out here. I would imagine it is there too. But it says it's only 59 degrees right now. Supposed to get a high today of 64, I think, is what they were saying. Yeah, David popped in this morning too on my late show. But it went till I think 2:30 this morning. Had a lot of people coming and going and that kind of thing. More or less curiosity, wanting to know what the hell I was doing. And it's nice. It was nice to spend time amongst friends, just chit chatting like we do right now. So, not a lot going on the lakes. Let me take a look at marine traffic. Screen share. There's marine traffic. We got a few ships lining up coming down. Yeah, Pina is the one that I usually like to try and get because it is the oldest ship on the Great Lakes and it's really nice looking. There it is. Not much coming upbound. But yeah, there's a few upbound heading up. The tip of the thumb, Mark Barker, Frontenac, Didastic, Green Wing, Sam Loud. Yeah. So that's what's going on the Great Lakes right now. There's quite a few ships down here coming and going. Out this way, quite a few ships over here. And these are cruise ships here. Neptune. Viking Star. Just amazing to see all the different ships that are out on the high seas and the low seas, you know. Share. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Okay, I understand. Yeah, Paul Hodges had to go. His mistress picked him up and was taking him up to his sister's house to get um, her second car, a Camry, I think it is, so that he has some wheels. Because the 3-day holiday over in Canada starts today. Nobody's working. Yeah, the little sky bandits are grabbing the peanuts too. Well, Justin, you just take care of yourself and don't worry about it. I mean, you're welcome to stay in the chat as usual, but um, I understand if you just, because usually when that happens, you just can't even. I think when you have a migraine to that point, it's even hard on your vision and whatever. Justin, have you had it checked out to find out if you don't have a blockage someplace that's causing that, or? Right back. I'm going to go plug and unplug the front camera that's not booting up. And here comes Rondo. Hey, Ron.
Hey.
How you doing?
Oh, there we go. Now it's good. Good. On my way to Gillette. Oh, crap. Let's see. I need to get a new magnet for my phone so I can hook it up in my thing here. There we go. Where'd you go, Paul?
Here.
Okay.
I just had to go power down my camera in the front of the house because it didn't, it said it needed to be reset. Always something, you know?
Yeah. Well, this is an ironic place I'm going to today. Windshield Paramedic is what it's called. I'm in the truck. God, it feels weird driving this thing.
Is that one of your companies you work for?
No. It's the people used to be firefighters, but yeah, it's a windshield repair place. I got to go have the windshield replaced.
Oh, okay.
Truck. I've got 1, 2, 3 cracks that have appeared. One of them, God, is like huge, like 12, 14 inches long. So Dawn is going to meet me this morning, and we're going to go run some. I'm actually going to take him over to my work and introduce him to people and show him around. And
there you go.
Yeah, and then we're going to go have lunch, and I don't know what else I'm going to do today. Not a whole lot.
Well, in your opinion, Justin is not going to be on this morning because he's got terrible migraine. He gets terrible migraines to where his head is pounding. Is that something that he should be concerned about?
Depends. I mean, are they new?
No, I think they're. I don't think they're new, but I think they're increasing.
I mean, I've heard of people that have them for years and years, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get more frequent and stuff, doesn't hurt. Go in and get a CT. Make sure he doesn't have something growing in there.
I see USA Drone Flyer asked you a question. What do you know about side effects of Ozempic?
What?
What's the name of that drug, Joe?
I can't see the chat.
Yeah, it's well, they all got a different name, Ozempic or something, or Ozempic.
Oh, I don't know a whole lot about it. It's all those drugs, that's one of the ones I think they advertise on TV, and
Right.
yeah, it comes out with like 85 potential side effects and complications. And
Yeah. Isn't that the one where the gal dances around and it's for blood pressure or something, or?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Got paid today. Whew.
All right.
Yeah. And I only worked one extra shift. It was like 12, 13 hours. Well, then again, I got my license reimbursement. The hospital pays me $500 a year to upkeep my critical care license.
Oh yeah.
But it was sweet, pretty sweet paycheck. Might even buy for lunch today. He always wants to buy because I do so much for him, but a little chilly on the pumpkin here this morning, Paul. As they say, there's a little frost on the pumpkin. It's 30 degrees.
It was 45 degrees here this morning, but it's going to go up to a high of 68, they say. But that's, I'm on the water. It's always a little bit less than that. But
and we're calling for a high of 48 today. That's it.
I suppose the leaves are turning and falling off the trees left and right, right?
They're turning. They're not falling yet that I can see. But sometimes that can happen in a blink of an eye over one weekend or so.
Right.
Tammy Jean.
Yep.
She presented my last video on her channel last night.
Oh.
That was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to have her and Max out sometime, and I know that especially Max, he likes to fly those planes. I want to take him up in this one canyon. He'll just go crazy up there. He'll enjoy that.
Well, what time are you going to have an early winter out there, Ron? Earlier?
I don't know, buddy. You never know here. Never know. It's so unpredictable here. I've actually hunted in November in a t-shirt here. You just don't know.
Skyfly and Mark White say good morning to you, Ron.
Good morning, guys.
And Captain Joe says good morning.
God, what a difference. I'm doing 60 and I almost feel like I'm like I miss the truck.
Do you miss not working the air paramedic much?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a shift I got to call the boss about today. I saw here in a couple weeks. I may go and pick it up. I said it's time and a half. So
I would imagine everybody's hurting for help, right?
yeah, I know we are. I'll tell you, and I got to call you remember my part-time job down in
Yep.
Hot Springs, the one with the hot little boss.
Yep.
I just think I'm going to quit there. I'll be honest with you, Paul. About every day, every other day, they have a couple apps that they use here. Say, hey, we need help here. We need help this day. Almost every day, there's something going out, and they tell me that like, oh, we're having a hard time getting people to come in, and like now
Well,
I've got
that was quite a drive for you, wasn't it?
no, like I say, over in Gillette, they're always looking for especially help. Like last night or yesterday, I worked down in Newcastle, Wyoming. It's about 50 minutes for me, but it's still better than that 4.5 hour drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Do you ever hear from those guys at all?
hardly at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they wrote me off. But
Just like you've kind of written them off.
yeah, kind of. I guess it works both ways.
Mutual separation, heading in different directions.
Yeah.
Now, do when you were a paramedic on the East Coast and out in California, do you ever miss certain places or wish you'd stayed? Or
I miss Pennsylvania, and it's just because of and to this day, matter of fact, it was June 2nd, 2011. We were shut down, and for years and years, and still it wasn't long ago, I just saw all my former coworkers on Facebook. They talk about where they work now and what they're doing now in their lives, and every single one of us say the same thing. Nothing is the same. I actually spent more time with my coworkers out of work than at work. There were 4 or 5 of us that had kind of a partnership in a cabin that was about 3 hours from home, up in the mountains where we deer hunted, and we even go up there in the summer, and you had to hike several hundred yards down over the hill, but we'd go down to the river and float in inner tubes and drink beer, and it was all a lot of fun. There were 4 or 5 of us that were Masonic brothers in the lodge, and that brought us. But yeah, so that place there I probably missed. I missed the excitement of California, some of the beauty too, like the one, Merced and Modesto were 2 cities in Northern California that the company I worked for, we had 12 locations throughout California, and the Merced and Modesto bases that I could work at, I was assigned to the Army base out on the coast, but the other 2 cities, we used to go into Yosemite all the time and do rescues in there, and just flying through Yosemite National Park in a helicopter was just breathtaking. Flying over the waterfalls and some of the, El Capitan and all those beautiful sights,
Yeah, you can't help but miss that.
Yeah. But Paul, I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, and I knew someday, hey, I got to hang my wings up, and maybe this is the time. I don't know, but I've had over 25 years of flying, and I'm here talking about it. Should I count my blessings? I don't know. Because there's been so many of the air medical helicopters and planes that have crashed. Look at remember my friend over in Hawaii I was worried about if she was on that plane that night.
Yeah.
I flew with that pilot and in that aircraft, the one that crashed in Reno, what was that, back November, December? Or no, it was January, February, I forget when it was, but just a few months back, that one in Reno, Nevada.
Right.
you know. So
Well, the thing of it is that you guys, the air paramedics, you guys take your life in your hands,
we
because
do.
not only are you maybe out there dealing with some crazies or whatever else, but you're in the air. You can't just pull over.
That is true. And I've been fortunate to work for companies that were very strict on safety and maintenance, primarily maintenance of the aircraft. That one, it crashed in Bismarck, North Dakota, about 4 years ago. Sad part, I remember talking to that paramedic the day before, and I remember us landing at Bismarck Airport, and we dropped off a patient, and they were there, and we chit chatted for like 15 minutes and said our goodbyes. Hey, we'll see you next time. Didn't see him the next time. Saw him at the funeral.
Oh my!
Yeah. I don't know, Paul. I said I've been. What's the word I want to use? Reminiscing and thinking, and do I miss the excitement of? And maybe some people would or would not understand that, landing a helicopter on an interstate at a big accident seems like, oh yeah, here we go. This is what I do, done it hundreds of times. And there's some excitement to it. I mean, granted, somebody's having a bad day. But there's some excitement to it,
Yeah, the Andrew, I slept okay last night once I finally got in my recliner and slept for a couple of hours. But I did a late night show last night, Ron.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we went on about 11:30 and we went till about 2:30.
Oh, geez.
Yep. And Justin was there, and Dominic. Corey Mono was on the panel.
Corey's from Canada, right?
Yep. He's up up northeast of Niagara Falls.
Yeah, he used to be on Roger's thing, right?
Yep.
You ever hear about Roger still living? Or
No, I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything from what's his name, Kim. None of those guys.
Paul Hodges just dropped off his rental van, and so he's sitting there waiting for the future wifey, to show up and pick him up.
The rental van?
Well, yeah, he had to have some serious engine work done to his pickup.
Oh,
So they took it in, and it's supposedly we're going to have it fixed today because this is a holiday weekend for Canada. This is their Memorial Day weekend or whatever, and because it's a Ford, they couldn't get on the spot transmission cooler lines. So now it's sitting there at the shop, and of course nobody's going to be working today, tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday, and so he had a rental van to get him by a couple of days,
Yeah.
He took it back.
Well, Paul, I'm going to run in the store here. I'll be back out.
Okay.
You're going to be on. You're going to be on. And
Yeah,
then
we're going to stay on a little while. We got 17 people watching, and they're all listening to Ron Lockwood.
I'm surprised they haven't all dropped off. Now I'm going to go into the store here. I'll be a convenience store. I'll be right back out, and then I got about a half-hour drive over to Gillette.
Okay.
So, all right, I'll be right back.
Okay. The yeah, Andrew, I saw you in the chat for a short period of time there. Corey lives in Ottawa, Canada. Joe's got a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to check out his chest pain and indigestion. Well, Joe, I hope everything goes well. The Yeah, anyway, so how's everybody doing? Everybody got things going on today, or? Hey, Mark White, how you doing? Mark, you were in early this morning, right? You popped in, I think. As I recall, it was a late night. Justin is having a severe migraine attack, so he's not going to be here today. And it's what do we got? We got 17 people here. Oh, the ride is there. All right, Paul. Sheila's got you around. Yeah, Andrew. She made it there. She's not lost in the woods.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, Ron. Yep. Paul's ride arrived. Sheila made it to pick him up.
Oh, good. Well, I tell you, for the
Joe America's got a doctor's appointment. I don't know if you saw it or not, but at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, check out his chest pain and indigestion problems.
yikes. At least he's one of the smart ones that gets himself checked out. Ooh, I want to
Yeah.
go this way. Oh,
So many people don't do that.
yeah. Yep, that's true. Sad part is, yeah, and I still find this today. Learning again back on the street that people will call their insurance company first before they call 911 to see if their insurance will cover it.
Right.
Like, really? Yeah. But that's today's world, Paul. You know that. It's all about the almighty dollar.
Yep.
You know what I find peculiar about this company that I'm working for, and I've worked for several ambulances in the past, that they want you to do whatever you can. It's like, get that patient, take them to the hospital so you can bill them. And I use the big example I use is, and I got yelled at by my boss, and I told him, I said, you give me the same opportunity, I'm going to do it again. Now tell me this makes sense, Paul. Up in Dickinson, North Dakota, because you've got an EMS background.
Right.
The local hospital up there they're not big. They're kind of small, and they're just not a good place. If somebody's involved in a critical accident, they need to go to a trauma center where when you arrive in that emergency room, you got doctors and surgeons standing there going, hi, bring him over here. Up in Dickinson, and I use this as an example, here, about 4 or 5 months ago, we had an accident right out in front of the airport. Pretty bad. And the ambulance, one of the people there knew some of our people, and they actually called our office and they said, are you guys over at the hangar? Are you available? And we said, yeah. Said, we're across the street at this accident. Don't know if you heard about it or see it from your building, but we want to fly a patient out. We're like, bring him over. They got their butts chewed by the local hospital that doesn't have the capability to handle a significant trauma. They wanted that ambulance, Paul, to drive, I want to say it's 6 or 7 miles over to the local hospital. Let them do their thing. Hey, let's get a chest x-ray. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then call us. So we got to drive in our van 6, 7 miles over to the hospital, get the patient, then drive 6, 7 miles back over to the airport to put them in the aircraft. You've heard and remember about the golden hour.
Yeah.
That time is just shut.
Well, the thing of it is that everything has been reduced to money, and who can bill money? Who can bill it?
They wanted that patient needed to get to, he needed surgery, now. But anyhow, my boss called me and he said, hey, I got a complaint. You guys accepted a patient from an accident across the street. You're working the fixed wing. That's the helicopter that does that. I'm like, I said, the helicopter's 5 minutes away. I said, we're across the street. Well, I don't want you guys to be doing scene work, in the fixed wing and blah, blah. I don't want that reputation. I'm like, Adam, what did you teach me on day one? Do what's in best interest of the patient. And that's what I did. And you give me the same scenario again, I'll do it again. If you want to fire me for it, then you fire me for it. But I'm going to go home at the end of that day, knowing on my conscience that I did what was in best interest of the patient. I scooped that guy up. We treated him. We did everything that the emergency room in the local town could have done, but we did it on the way to the trauma center. And the reason I bring this up is here in Gillette with this company that I'm with, if they feel you don't need to go to the hospital, they'll look for a refusal. Now, we're very careful of that. If we get someone calls 911 and we get there and they're like, I don't want to go to the hospital, my wife called, blah, blah, blah. You know, we have to go through a process. We have a form, questions we got to ask. We got to do a blood sugar on them. We got to hook them up to get their vital signs, make sure that they're not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. But even like, especially our diabetics, we get a lot of diabetic calls and seizure calls. And by the time we get there, everything's done. You know, they're almost fine. And we'll sit there with them. We've even gone as far as, we had one seizure. My first week of work, we had a young kid that had a seizure. And we told the dad, said, listen, if you want to drive him in your car to the hospital, we'll follow behind you. So if something else happens, we're right there, but you're not going to get a bill from us. Where other places I've worked at, Paul, and the point I'm trying to make is everybody has always tried to do whatever they can to get that, you know, send a bill, you know, and get money. And this place doesn't do this, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
One of the things I find is the first place that if I get called to a cardiac arrest, that emergency room is not going to do anything more than what I can do in the field. My standard protocol is I go through the cardiac arrest protocol and give the drugs and defibrillate and do whatever it is I need to do. And I work that patient for 20 to 30 minutes. And then if I do not have any return of vital signs, I call the doctor and say, this is what I've done the last 30 minutes. And they say, okay, go ahead and call it. And I'm done. We don't transport them. Where the old places I went to, they always wanted you to transport the patient to the hospital. So.
Awesome.
Well, that's basic medical teamwork,
Yeah.
you know, because you can't do it all.
Nope.
And
No, but-
even the best hospital, they've got people to help them. They can't do it all.
Exactly.
No, but what I'm saying is that other places I used to work, they wanted us to do the same thing, but bring the patient in. And then they would continue care of what we've already done, but then that hospital would also be able to bill that patient.
Right.
We're here, they don't want us doing that. No, you guys tell me what the doctor asked, tell me what you did. And we tell them, what results did you get? We tell them, they're like, okay, sounds like we're not going to be able to do anything more here. So at that point, we're free to leave. The police are usually there. They call the coroner, you know.
Justin, are you feeling a little better?
Yeah, it took some medicine. It's starting to go away now. It usually takes about a half hour or so for it to start to go away. I just had a really bad migraine when I woke up.
I've only ever had one of them in my life. I'm
Dude,
thinking
they're
that's what it
horrible.
was.
I get them quite frequently and they suck.
I've heard of people like laying on the floor and like,
My uncle had them so bad that he used to have to get a prescription for 6 shots a month.
really?
They were like EpiPens. When he would get one that was so bad, he would have to, like, you know, stab himself with this needle, and it had special medicine in it for really severe migraines.
Oh.
His was from, well, from what I was told, his was from drug use a lot over the years, because when he was younger, he was on meth really bad, and then he went to jail for 6 years for having a meth lab. But ever since then, he's gotten out. He's been just as straight as arrow. He was one of the very, very small percentage that have actually gotten rehabilitated by going to prison. So he's done really good with himself since then. But I think that's what he told me. It was mainly the cause of his. Mine, I don't know what causes them, but I get at least 2 or 3 bad ones a month.
Really? Wow.
But mine aren't so severe that I need prescription medication. Usually I take a couple Excedrin, and in about a 30-minute period, I'll start to feel it going away. But yeah, there's really no comfortable thing you can do. You can lay down and put a pillow over your head and try to be in the dark, because that's the best thing to do, is just
Yeah.
not have your eyes open and try to darken yourself.
Yep.
But at the same time, you're still in pain while you're laying there. It's just nonstop. It's just
Well, you can
really
almost
pounds
feel
that
every
pain.
heartbeat, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it's so bad it will make you nauseous where you'll throw up. And if you take any medicine, it compounds your nauseated stomach, which makes it even worse. Those are the worst ones. That I get one of those every great once in a while. Where if I take a couple Excedrin, my stomach will be so just queasy from the migraine that when I take the Excedrin, it makes it even worse.
So when you took your medication, you're taking over the counter stuff, right?
Yeah. Excedrin's
good.
the only one that works for me.
You know, good
Tylenol, Advil, all that shit sucks.
Go ahead, Ron.
Let's say, Justin, a good medicine if you get nauseated, it's over the counter. Believe it or not, Benadryl. It's for allergic reactions, but it's also a very powerful antiemetic. What they call an antiemetic. We have 2 other drugs that we give for Zofran and Phenergan. But I have found that Benadryl works really, really well. It's in our protocols.
So that'll
What would you-
alleviate almost immediately because you're taking it orally, right?
Yeah.
What about rectally?
Whatever floats your boat.
Now, what is it good for you? Like migraines or like pain or what?
For nausea, you get really severely
nausea.
nauseated. It'll really help keep you from throwing up.
Actually, one thing that works really well for nausea, but obviously isn't mainstream medicine yet, is actually marijuana works really well for that. And it brings back your appetite in a time that normally you wouldn't have one. Like people
Yeah.
that have like the flu real bad and are throwing up, it will actually settle your stomach plus give you an appetite back so you'll want to eat something. I found that with nausea, it worked really well back in the day.
Oh, Matt was on fire last night too, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, Tim called him what do you call him, a dickhead or something, right before he came in. So then he just went in on Tim the whole like half the night.
Yep.
What Tim call him?
A dickhead.
Dickhead.
To get him like to bait him onto the panel. Well, Matt came on the panel and Matt dug right into him.
My wimpy ass went to bed after I got home last night. Hey, Paul, you and Justin both have experience with this. What's the best way to contact YouTube? I'm just getting to the point I'm so pissed off and disappointed. I mean, I'm almost like, if I didn't enjoy it as much, sharing with, friends and stuff, but these videos I put out, it's just not getting any recognition. Like, what am I doing wrong? I try fancy titles and I put hashtags in there, and I put a really good picture. Like the last one, I put hiking the Bighorn Mountains in search of Wyoming moose, and my picture on my.
How have your last videos done? Oh.
We kind of lost him.
No, I think something was going on because he turned his camera and his mic off. I wonder if he got pulled over or something. Um, the way you can't contact YouTube, I know on Twitter they have a thing that you can contact them through. I don't know because now that I'm monetized, I have a direct line to them with a chat thing in the YouTube studio. When you get monetized, you get a direct line to them. And then when you get up to like 20,000 subs, you get a actual YouTube like ambassador, somebody that's like actually assigned to your account that you can call if you have any issues. Like you'll actually be able to talk to them directly.
Yeah.
Would you get pulled over, Ron?
No,
Because the way you looked when you turned your camera off, I was like, oh shit, he must have got pulled over.
no, that was Don that called. He's gonna come over and pick me up.
He's going to get a windshield fix.
Yeah, I'm in the truck, Justin. Woohoo! God, it feels weird being in this thing.
Yeah, you barely drive it anymore.
I know. I feel like I'm
noticed that.
sitting up high and yeah, comfortable. I'll drive it
Yeah.
next week. I got a guide next week. So there's some antelope and mule deer hunters.
Yeah, it is weird when you drive in one car all the time and you switch cars again.
Yeah.
Andrew said in that scenario you just told us about, you did the right thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I must have missed
My
that
boss
conversation.
is so, and that's the problem sometimes with some bosses. You know, they used to do the job you do now, and now all of a sudden they're sitting at a desk for the last 5 years. They lose reality. And I almost told him that, but I'm sure I would have got me fired if I would have mopped off to him. But he has. He's lost reality.
Well,
Is this
you know,
your new company, or are you just telling an old story? From
No,
back
the old place. I remember this past winter, they wanted us to take this baby from Bismarck to Minnesota, and it was just, we didn't have the proper isolate
yep.
to put this kid in, and our one Fargo aircraft does have that, but they weren't available. And my boss is pushing for us to take this kid. I'm like, Adam, I said, the ambient temperature is 42 below zero. I'm sorry, but I'm not taking someone's 2-week-old out of that kind of weather. I'm not doing it. And the supervisor, who was above me but below the big boss, he called him. He chewed him out. He said, leave them alone. He said, this is bullshit. You pushing this flight. It's not safe. And he really reamed him out.
So
And,
what is that box that you're
technically, he
talking
could have got
about?
fired for insubordination.
So that box you're talking about was
It's called
it
an
keep the baby
isolette.
warm? Or was it keep
Yeah,
the baby
yeah.
all like nice and warm?
Yeah, it's
and
like an
everything?
incubator box. It keeps it warm and
Okay.
oxygenated
Yeah.
and everything.
But
And it
I mean, we could.
in an ambulance situation, it's on 4 wheels and goes right into the right into the rack.
But even guys, you know, and I told Adam, I said, do you realize we've got 1 to 2 minutes from the time we pull that kid out of the back of the ambulance and then put
You're breaking up, Ron.
second. What's that?
You're breaking up. You says the last thing we heard before the bitty 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 boop was we only have 1 to 2 minutes to.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told the boss, I said, we have 1 to 2 minutes from the time you unload the patient out of the ambulance until you get them inside the fixed wing aircraft, those tiny little IV lines will freeze up in seconds. And I'm not installing ice into any of my patients, especially a 2-week-old baby. Not doing it.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
that just shows that you're not just doing a job, you're caring for the patient.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what's scary about that is with the AI movement, that pretty soon you're going to have robot paramedics, and they're not going to give a shit. They just do what they're told.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but the thing is honestly AI. So say you actually had a full-fledged functioning AI robot. I actually think it would do better, as in the fact that it would have done the same thing Ron's boss above him had done. It's gonna think of every variable possible, and it's not gonna want to do something that it thinks that isn't gonna be good for whatever it's doing. It would actually override the boss and say no, wouldn't allow itself to do it. If it was true AI.
Well, and if it was an evolved AI, in other words, but
It would have to understand
I
that.
am of the opinion, and I'll never live to see it come, but I'm of the opinion that a robot or whatever, it only acts the way you program it to. And you can program situations in, but you can't program in the emotional effects.
Yeah.
No, but if anybody has a self-aware AI, it's going to be the government or big industry. But all these little apps that people are using on the App Store and Chat GTP, all that shit is just bullshit AI. It really is. Everybody's all like memorized by putting a picture in an AI, turning it into a cartoon. Big fucking deal. That's not all that big of a deal. It's really not all that crazy. It's just that we're creating a picture from just a few keywords. But like I said, that's not the type of AI that the government's going to be using. And
Because you
trust
got
me,
so much more room in that truck, Trevor says Ron needs a booster.
I do.
like I said, the government's way ahead of where anybody else is right now, especially the US government. I mean, just the amount of money that they dump into black projects and research and development. I mean,
Oh boy, that was. I guess the rut must be starting early. Love is in the air. There was 2 mule deer doing a little heeing and sheeing there over in the field. Buck was having his way with her.
Well, did you see Paul Hodges' friend totaled out the front end of his car, hit a deer?
No.
And so they went over and Paul had pictures of it hanging up, and they stripped that baby down and he got all the meat off it.
Yeah. That's what pissed me off the one time that deer I hit demolished my truck, and you think I could find that deer? I literally watched him launch through the air, and I went over and looked everywhere in the weeds. Like, there's no way he survived that. I hit
Here
him at
comes
70
Paul
miles an
now.
hour.
Hey guys,
Hey, Paul, show Ron the pictures of that accident your friend had with the deer, and then the afterwards after you guys.
yeah.
uh,
I got a question for you, Ron.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we've still got warm weather, okay? But
Right.
this deer that he hit, I've never seen so much fat on a deer, but it's all gelatine. You know what I mean? Like it's almost translucent. It's not white. Have you ever seen that?
Where is the deer big?
On the deer.
Yeah, I think it's an older doe.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never seen that much fat on a deer, and we've had no cold weather yet.
Yeah.
But not the white, harder fat. It's almost jelly, almost like almost translucent, like you know.
But do you normally hunt deer at this time of year up there?
No.
Well,
They're
that's
just-
what I'm saying. I'm wondering maybe if it was fattening itself up for winter. You just
Well,
happened to get it
Ron
at the
hunts
right
this
time.
time of year. And have you ever noticed that, Ron?
Not real thick, not this time of year.
no,
Is it-
like this deer had a lot of fat. I've never seen this much fat on a deer.
Fucking David.
It's unusual. That's for me, you know.
That's like my bear. You wouldn't believe how much fat was on that damn bear. It was unbelievable. Jason, the outfitter, who has experience at skinning bear, I don't, but I was there helping him, and I asked him. I said, "This is a lot of fat because this is a lot, an awful lot." And that, you know what that could mean, Paul. And again, I don't know. I've heard about this, but it could mean that we're going to have a nasty cold winter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
But hang on, if I can share this, I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is.
nope.
We
Well,
see your screen again.
Hang on, try this one more time. Okay, now we got the right screen. So, anyways, this is my friend's car. I think it's a write-off because there's a lot more damage there than what you can see. But there's the doe right there. But the whole left quarter, rear quarter is gone. It was just mush. But she, look how fat this thing is. Like holy
Yeah,
mackerel.
she is fat.
Yeah, like I think an older doe.
It probably is.
I mean, if I was looking to, get an insurance payout too, might as well get 6 months of meat with it, right?
I'm gonna go help cut it up tomorrow. It's in the fridge already. Like they have a fridge out in the shed there, and could get the meat cooled down. I almost deboned it right there. Like I just, yeah, didn't
Like
even.
John's going.
I just left the tenderloins in it, but yeah, we took everything like the legs, back strap and neck meat and all that stuff. We took all that off, but but she's a big doe. Like she has a big head on her too. So
Looks
Yeah.
like John's bow hunting season starts tomorrow. John actually just went.
it's
His bow
stuff.
hunting season
Here,
just
first
ended
week.
last week.
Yeah, ours just started. So
Now he's in the muzzle loader
yeah,
section of hunting.
our muzzle loader ain't the first full week of November. So
And Sean didn't get nothing on that hunt neither.
yeah.
They couldn't find a single fucking elk in that whole place, except for his buddy. They apparently his buddy ran across one and shot too high and missed it, and then they found it again, shot too low and missed it, and then it disappeared. They couldn't, and then they didn't see anything else the entire time they were out there. But his bow is
That's something.
badass. You saw Sean's new bow, right, Ron?
Yeah.
That thing's
Yeah,
pretty
it's pretty nice.
badass. He spent like $600-700 on that fucking thing.
Wow. Yeah, they're not cheap. That's actually not a bad price. You can get them 1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah, and he actually had to go to the place he bought it at so they could customize it and fit
Mhm.
it to him almost, they had to get the
Yep.
right tension that he wanted. Because
Draw
his does up
length
to
and-
his does up to 70 and he had it set at 55.
Oh wow, yeah.
But have you seen Sean shooting? Dude, he's got some good fucking aim. I'll tell you what. He actually Robin Hooded one of his arrows not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But he actually was so confident in his shooting, he put his phone at the bottom of the target when we were on a live stream one day so we could watch the arrow coming at us.
Oh really?
Granted, we didn't see it because it was so fucking quick. But yeah, he was that confident he wasn't going to hit his phone.
Shit.
And he was shooting probably a good 40 yards and was hitting the damn center of the target almost every time.
That's what you want to do. All right, I gotta find windshield paramedic on this road.
Oh, John's using a crossbow.
Yeah, I sold my crossbow a couple years ago.
Crossbows have aren't they a stronger force than a bow and arrow or no?
Oh, they can, yeah, they can. But the problem with them is in some states you have to show you have a disability, that you can't, use regular draw. You have to have like a doctor's excuse that says you have like a shoulder injury or disability or something.
Yeah, some of this hunting shit is so stupid. Like, what's the difference? It's literally just a different way to shoot an arrow. What the hell's the difference? I mean,
Yeah,
why
it's the rules.
why make such a big deal for hunters? They're gonna kill the fucking thing either way.
Yeah,
It's some of those rules just seem overly. To me, they don't make any sense from the outside. Somebody that doesn't really hunt. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like you're shooting an arrow with two different ways. You're planning on killing the animal regardless. So what the hell's the difference?
the crossbow, it does have a lot more accuracy.
Yeah, but why
And,
try to make it harder for hunters just because technology has gotten better?
to make it easier
know?
on the animals.
Yeah, but
it's just
they
like-
want
like-
you, but they want you to hunt them anyway because of the population controls and stuff.
Right. It's
So
just
it's
like
like-
in Alaska. If you fly up to Alaska to hunt, you can't hunt
Later,
for 24 hours. You have to be on the ground for 24 hours before you're allowed to shoot anything.
Like I said, I don't see how making it easier on the animals. If anything, it's just gonna not guarantee that you get one, which is like totally defeats the purpose of why they're giving you a tag in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, as long as everybody's following the rules of not overdoing their tags and getting more animals than they're supposed to, I don't really see the fucking problem in using a drone or using whatever you want to get the animal as long as you're, not over hunting what you're supposed to be getting. That I can understand why there's rules for. But it seems like just because technology is getting better, they purposely make it more difficult for you. They want to make it as difficult as possible to hunt the things.
Yeah.
That's just my thing from looking at it from the outside. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but Fish and Game, they look at, being unfair to the animal. You having the more advantages you have, it's I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they have this mindset that we're still living in the 1800s. It's like, it's like, no, we got thermal cameras, we got flying drones. Like,
Oh, there it is.
start thinking like we live in the 21st century, not fucking 1890. Like I said, I feel like if you're following the rules, as far as what you're allowed to kill and all that, I don't see the problem with using newer technology to catch them. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it's supposed to be a population control is one of the biggest things for it. From what you and Sean have told me, that's like one of the main reasons they do shit like that. is to
Like
help-
this year in Wyoming, because of the devastation from the severe deep snow last year, it killed a lot of animals. There were, especially the antelope and the deer on the western end of the state. So probably for the next, I'm thinking 3 to 5 years, they've cut back the hunting season.
Right, they adjusted for that. Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, they took like a week or 10 days off this year. It's hurting my boss's business. It's hurting me financially because, we don't have as many hunters. They turned a lot of hunters down and rescheduled them for next year. But
Yeah. I mean, as much as that sucks for you guys, to me, that makes sense because they're trying to adjust it because of certain population decreases from natural things that is unfortunately out into your guys' control.
yeah,
But it so does suck for you guys because you guys are losing business.
Yeah. There we go. This cracks me up. Windshield paramedic. no.
That's what the name of the place that's replacing his windshield.
Yeah.
Well,
Quick,
they
I
get-
need a paramedic.
Why are you getting a new windshield?
I went out in the garage a few weeks ago, and there is. Well, here I'll show you. All right, how do I do this again? Damn it. Ah, here we go. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, all the way across, huh?
Yeah, from down in that corner all the way up. And then there's another one down there.
Is it
down
illegal there to
there.
drive with a crack in your window?
Yeah. And then
I know
there's
a lot
another
of
one up here, this corner.
A lot of
I
states,
got-
yeah, it's illegal, you have to get it fixed.
Yeah, so many people here in Wyoming have broken windshields because of stones and stuff. And technically, according to the letter of law, and that's most states, you know, they say it's obscuring your vision. And it's really not obscuring my vision, it's just bugging the shit out of me. That my pretty truck has a big crack in it. So
Yeah, well,
well, anyhow,
what do
guys,
you
I'm
think?
gonna
All right, see you later.
I'm gonna head in and drop this off to these guys so they can get started, and then Don will be here shortly to pick me up.
Hey, Ron, have a great day.
All righty, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep,
All right,
see
we'll
ya.
see y'all.
Later.
See y'all later. All right. Leave.
When I got the new windshield put in my car, man, those guys are actually quick with that shit. They can pull out your window and put a new one in like 20 minutes. We had one put on one of our cars about, I don't know, it was a few years back, but yeah, they did it really quickly. Guy cut around the edge of the window, popped it right out, went around, scraped all the old glue off, put the new glue bead around there and stuck the other window right in. Only took him like 20 minutes or so. And he said, just don't use your windshield wipers for like the first few hours or something like that.
Now, did they come out and do it to your house, or did you take it someplace?
No, they just came out to the house and did it
Yeah.
because it was covered by our insurance at the time when we had it done. It was a while back. It was quite a while back because it was when Thomas was still in Sarah's stomach. It was when she got shot at in the car by those gang members. They're lucky I didn't fucking catch him when I went chasing him down the road too, because I would have fucking let him out. But the problem is they went about a half mile down the road after Sarah came in the house crying. I jumped in the car with the gun and chased them down the road, but the direction they got to when they got about a half mile down the road, it forked off in 3 different directions.
Oh, lovely.
I
Yeah.
didn't know which direction they went. I just picked a direction and went there of where I thought they most likely would have went, and I guess I wasn't right. So the fucking cops up there are useless, dude. They never did figure out. They said that they caught the guy and he got out, and the kid ended up getting killed not too long after that.
Yeah.
And they never did prove it was actually him, and it was just a big old clusterfuck. The cops up there suck. If it was down here, they would have had him in 2 days in prison. That's why that was one of the reasons why we moved down here. Is because one, the crime in North Carolina was getting completely out of control where we lived at. And two, the cops up there were just fucking useless, dude. They just never seemed to solve anything. They're the shittiest ass law enforcement up there. Like I said, down here, dude, you can call them for something stupid and they will figure out what it is, whatever it might be. When my sister lost her phone at the gas station, They took the number, sent it to their IT department. The sheriff did, the deputy, while he was at the gas station with me and my sister. Got
Yeah.
the phone number, called their internet security department that they have in the sheriff's offices. They actually have
So they could
one of the-
track it?
yeah, they actually have like one of the best, like, as far as local law enforcement goes, they have a really, really good internet like department in their sheriff's office that does like internet crime and stuff like that. And they tracked the phone, they called it, the lady answered the phone. The deputy said, the lady was just an older lady that happened to pick up my sister's phone. And she wasn't sure what to do with it, so she put it in her car and she was driving up north to go see her sister up by Tallahassee.
Hmm.
I think it was, or somewhere right at the Georgia border. She went to go visit her sister for a couple days, and the deputy got her information. He said, you have it back here on the day that you said you're going to return it. He goes, if not, we'll come looking for you. He goes, as long as you bring it back and return it. And so 2 days later, she came back. She met my sister and the deputy down at the gas station. The deputy signed off on it, said that it was returned. But they did all that just for a lost cell phone.
Yeah.
My sister didn't even want to call the cops. She was like, oh, they're not going to do anything, because she was used to the shitty ass police up there in North Carolina where we lived at that didn't do anything. And she just assumed they weren't going to do nothing. I told her, I said, call them, watch, they'll do something about it if you think it was stolen. And like I said, they had, within 30 minutes, they found out who had the phone, where they were at. And the lady agreed that when she got back in 2 days from visiting her sister up north in the nursing home, she would come back and return it. And she did. Like I said, the deputy met her at the gas station with my sister, signed off on it. And they were all good after that. I just like the way that they do things around here as far as law enforcement goes. I feel like if something happens, they're not going to get brushed under the rug, even if it's a small issue, you know?
Yeah, Mark, little stone chips and stuff I've seen where they take that epoxy stuff and they attach a little thing right around it and then they inject it and you can actually see it just disappear.
You have to vacuum, it sucks the air, but it pushes the liquid into it, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they can do on the little small chips in the window. Because it saves you a few $100s from having to get a new window.
Yep.
They charge you 40, 50 bucks to, cover a couple chips up. Plus, then you don't have to go through your insurance, which your insurance is gonna go up a little bit because you had to do that, But I think here in Florida, and I could be wrong, but I think here in Florida, your insurance has to cover a new windshield. I don't think it's allowed to affect your rates, if I remember correctly. I think it's something that they have to do, and they can't like up your rates for doing it or something like that. There's some kind of law here about windshields to where you can get your windshield replaced pretty much for free through your insurance. They have to do it.
Mia just loves going over there and tearing up the cover on the
Nope.
on the love seat.
yeah.
She takes her head, rubs it up and down like this and pops it up and then the cushions, the two cushions that are side by side, they're flipping up and down. And
Yeah, it might be the same thing we have, David. I know there's some kind of law that pertains to windshields here where they have to replace it if there's any kind of cracks or chips or anything. They're not allowed to tell you no. It's like it's considered a safety thing. Although I've seen people to ride cars with worse windows than Ron for years and it didn't do anything. They just, the states make a big deal about it, about obstructing your vision and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Jesus, David,
At least.
you only go to 3 different places a year. Jesus. Where are you driving at? David barely leaves the house and he's going through with 3 windshields a year. I had one hit my work truck about 6 months or so ago. And it put a big old spider crack in the windshield, but our company would go fix it themselves and just pay out of pocket to fix it because the insurance company we went through or something, they would report it as an accident or some crap and company would get charged for it because they were a business or some shit. So they would just have you go to a local windshield place and then they would just pay it out of pocket to fix it. So it wouldn't hike their insurance rates up because it's a commercial vehicle.
Yeah, I hear windshield repair is free of charge, but
But
the deductible, whatever your comprehensive is, but if it's $300 and it costs $260 to replace your windshield, it's not worth just even going through the insurance.
Hey, Lance, how you doing?
Good, good. Super busy. I figured I'd come in and say hi. How are you guys?
Yeah.
Morning, Justin. Morning, Paul. Good morning, Paul.
how's it going? Were you at work or something?
I am.
Looks like a classroom behind you.
Yeah. I'll show you here's my lab.
Oh, nice.
And
So what are you guys doing there? Is it just like a computer lab or what are you doing with the
Yeah,
computers?
so Photoshop, I teach photography and
Okay.
so we sit down and we go out and take pictures, we come back, we open up Photoshop, they edit their images, they turn those images into me. So everything's digital. We don't do any print anymore. And
Do you do like PowerDirt or what is it? Photo or not Photoshop, PowerPoint and
PowerPoint?
stuff like that? Or are you just
PowerPoint?
mainly Photoshop?
Just Photoshop. I put all of my lesson plans on PowerPoint and I project that to that big screen TV right up there. Do you see the big screen up there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's what the kids see. And then, so I kind of give my lesson and they look up there and then we check cameras out and the kids go out and take pictures and they come back and yeah.
You're in college, right? College,
High school.
high school?
And then if I can show you if I can show you my broadcast lab, hold on. See if I can get far enough back there.
Oh, it looks like he's got a Dundee Award up on the shelf. If anybody knows, you know what I'm talking about.
Let's see if I can show you far enough back there. Tell me if you see this or not. There's my broadcast studio.
Oh yeah.
And that's about as far over as I can go. But that's where they do the news in the morning. So I have the kids do the news in the morning and then they present to the rest of the ASB. And that's a broadcast class that.
Yeah, my kids are in the news thing at their school too. Both my kids.
Yeah, it's a fun class. Kids like it.
They do the same thing. They have a YouTube channel too where they post all their news broadcasts too.
Yep. That's the way of the world now. That's the easiest way to do is just put it on YouTube, and teachers can show it whenever they want to.
Lance, I don't know if you heard or not, but Justin's son is been recruited to take online classes at which college?
No,
University?
actually going to so my son's in 9th grade and he blew out the state testing last year. Just completely smashed it. But he got selected with a handful of kids to do and to go to the local Polk State College and do and get up with the academic success advisor and do some college courses with them on stuff. And he's only in ninth grade.
That's fantastic. How'd that happen with your genes?
Yeah,
I just had to throw that in there, Justin. You know I'm kidding.
you got beat by about 10 other people to that joke.
And I figured I had been, 'cause the way people pick on you, I'm sure that I was the 11th person to say that.
Well, that's quite a feat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is fantastic.
Yeah, he's all, yeah, and all his classes are college prep classes in his high school already in ninth grade. He's already in all college prep classes. Like he's in the advanced classes for every one of his classes.
Wow.
Right. And he reads at a college level too.
Hey, JDS.
JDS is here.
Good morning, JDS.
What's
Never
up,
fear,
JDS? Thank you.
JDS is always here.
Yeah.
And he's in ROTC this year as well, so he's doing that too. So
Yeah. Good.
I was asking him the other day, I said, so what, you think you might want to like maybe go in the military when you get older? He's like, I'm thinking about it. I said, man, you go and put 15, 20 years in the military, get out as a private contractor, you could be making 6 figures a year, buddy. I said, you could easily be pulling in 6 figures.
Well, as smart as he is too, he goes up through the ranks really fast too.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and not only that, but if he stays in 20, he gets full retirement. And then he can
Right.
go get another job. So at 38, he could be retired and then go find a second job. That's what my dad did. And it was very
Exactly.
lucrative for him.
And I think you can actually retire at 37 because I think you can go in at 17 with parents' permission. So you can actually go in a year earlier.
And back in the day when my dad was there, he snuck in at 16. So he retired at 36.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it because I mean, you're still young, relatively young at 38.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you go
Oh,
get
yeah.
you go get a job, and then you can go get a job working for like Northrop Grumman or Boeing, and as a, just an advisor or
Sure.
liaison, whatever, and you can make 100, 200,000 a year easy working for one of them. No, our system starts at kindergarten, Mark. You'd be in kindergarten at age 5 normally. Sometimes 6, depending on when your birthday falls, because you might not. There are some kids that don't start
And
till they're 6.
sometimes 4 if you get in early.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
it's
because I don't know if it's still the same, Lance, but isn't it? Depends on when your birthday falls, right?
it does. So like if you're going to be 5 by and it's every state's a little different, but in the state of Washington, if you are 5 by like the 20th of September and you're still 4, you could go into kindergarten at 4.
And we actually have preschool as well, Mark, before kindergarten that you can put your kids in as well. Kind of gives them a leg up when they get into kindergarten. They'll kind of learn some of the stuff they're going to learn in kindergarten, which makes it a little easier for them. All my kids went to preschool too. So that actually adds a whole nother year of schooling because all the preschool my kids went to, they actually were learning shapes and colors and what right and left meant. And like they teach them all the basics that you would normally learn in kindergarten. They kind of already had down before they got to kindergarten. And then you can go all the way up to 12th grade and then go to college. But then there's some kids, my son most likely probably will test out a year early. I mean, their kids will do that too. I've seen kids that, don't have to do their last year because they have enough credits and they test out and they do the state testing. And they're just smart enough to where they can skip a year. We've had kids here that have done that where they've gotten out of the, and didn't even have to finish their 12th grade year. Granted, I mean, you miss out on all the fun stuff you just get to do in high school, but some kids will do that.
And some kids just don't like the high school, vibe, so they do that. We have something called
Right.
Running Start, where kids in 11th grade can go to the local community college and take their classes there. And if they stay in there 2 years, they get an AA and their high school diploma all together at one time. So then they go to a 4-year school. They only need 2 years of 4-year school. So they graduate from college at 20. And a lot of kids do, not a lot of kids. We get 10.
It's
to
the
20.
motivated ones.
Yeah. And the ones that don't like the college atmosphere, and that's one reason. I mean, there's many reasons, but that's a reason. Another is they're motivated. But then you get the
Right.
kids that want to stay in the high school environment. So you still get motivated kids in the high school. They just like the dances and the games and,
Right.
what high
Their
school
friends
did.
and all that.
Yep, it just depends.
I could see my son testing out in early, to be honest with you. That's the kind of, I just could see him doing that.
Sure.
Like I said, I hope he does something really good with himself because, I mean, he's getting opportunities left and right. I mean, for being in 9th grade and getting thrown all in advanced classes because of the state test, he completely aced the state test last year. That's why they put him in all college prep courses in 9th grade. So he's doing some of the classes the 11th and 12th graders are doing. Well, what's cool is this, when I was reading on this college thing, it's like they teach them like, how to apply for colleges and kind of work management and all that stuff. And they kind of go over all that and everything. And even stress management is one of them. How to control yourself and not get too stressed out from doing too much work, stuff like that. They go over a whole bunch of different things with them.
Yep.
He was excited about it. He came in. He's like, "Look what I got." I was like, "Holy crap!" I was really proud of him. Though, doing really good. Because his sister actually got held back a year. She used to be a year ahead of him. And back when she was, I'll never forget this. So she was in like 4th grade and he was in 3rd grade. And she came home and she was having trouble with her homework. So he does her homework for her because she didn't know how to do it. And he did. He understood it and did it all for her. Then at the end, he goes, you know what? You really need to do better. You're being a real incompetent fool. I said, gee, that threat. And mind you, he's in 3rd grade and he tells her that. I was like, oh my God. I was standing right there when he said it and I about fell on the floor. I was trying not to laugh. I was like, oh my God. He literally just called his sister an incompetent fool. I was like, where the hell do you even learn that word in 3rd grade? He is. He's kind of like Sheldon Cooper type, but not as awkward as Sheldon Cooper. If you know the show Big Bang Theory. Well, it depends on what you're going for too, Mark. I mean, shit, isn't med school like I think usually is like a minimum, what, 6 years? I think, isn't med school? I think it's like at least 6 years. That's a pretty long stint in college. And then they usually do like 1 or 2 year residencies before they become full-fledged doctors. That's like a 6 to 8 year process before you're actually considered a full-fledged doctor.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go catch a ship. I can either make one of you guys the host and you can run it, or we'll say adieu until later today.
I got to take off. I got stuff to deal with, battery and stuff. I'm just
All right,
waiting.
everybody, take care. We'll see you again all later this evening.
Yep. See you guys.
See you
Thanks,
guys later.
Justin. Hope you're
Yep.
feeling better, buddy.